Hey everyone, this is Brian from Peak Level Performance. Today we're going to go over the goblet squat. So once you've mastered the movement of a bodyweight squat, the goblet squat is the next progression to add some weight to the exercise. The goblet squat can be done with either a dumbbell or a kettlebell, but I prefer the feel of a kettlebell. To set up for the goblet squat, you'll have your feet a little wider than shoulder width apart and feet angled slightly outwards. The weight will be held right below the chin like you're about to drink from a goblet, hence the name goblet squat. Make sure that the weight is actually resting against the chest and not held away from the body. Like any other squat, there are a few things to keep in mind when performing the exercise. Make sure that your back is flat and that all of the muscles in the back are engaged. As you can see on the left, you want to be nice and tall with your back flat and eyes looking forward. The picture on the right is an example of what you should not do. You never want your back rounded and your neck bent forward so that you're looking at the ground. This can actually lead to a lot of serious problems with your lower back and neck. When squatting, your knees should be pushed outwards so that they remain over your feet or slightly outside of them, just like in the picture on the left. Remember that during the setup, I told you that your feet should be angled slightly outwards. This helps with keeping your knees out and guiding your knees in the direction of your feet as you squat. On the right, you can see that the knees are caving in. You never want this to happen because it can lead to serious knee injuries like torn ACLs. This typically happens after squatting down and trying to stand back up. So when you squat, be sure that when you're standing back up from the squat position, that you push your knees outwards. As you squat down, you want to make sure that your shin is close to being vertical and not angled forward so that the knee is past your toes. The best way to perform the squat is to actually push your butt down and back instead of just dropping the butt straight down. By pushing your butt back, you're more likely to keep a vertical shin and have your knee remain over your ankle. On the picture on the right, the butt was dropped straight down instead of being pushed back. This leads to the shin being angled forward and the knee being pushed forward past the toes. The next tip kind of goes with keeping your back flat. When squatting, your eyes should be looking forward. This keeps your spine in a more neutral position, minimizing the stress put on it. So instead of looking straight up at the ceiling, which has been taught for many years by trainers and coaches, it's actually better to focus on something in front of you. The last tip that I'm going to talk about is having most of your weight on your heels. As you squat down and stand back up, you want to make sure that the majority of your weight is back on your heels. I frequently tell clients to power through their heels when squatting. When performing the squat, you should never be on your tippy toes or have your heel off the ground at any time, like in the picture on the right. Thank you for checking out my video on the goblet squat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and learned something new on how to perform the exercise properly. I will be posting a video on the barbell front squat, which is the next squat progression, so be on the lookout. So this is Brian from Peak Level Performance signing out and reminding you that when you train for strength, safety, and success.